we are attempting to weld up another elevator horn here. And I cut it out a while ago, and then but I haven't welded it up, so just trying it out. Our last one we did, we weren't very happy with. That was a rudder horn. We're going to try it on this elevator horn and see what works. We're going to clamp it and tap it. I've already got it tapped in multiple places. We're going to do a couple more taps before we start welding. So far, nothing's really twisted a lot, so hopefully that continues to last.
I don't know how many times I've messed with the acetylene and oxygen settings trying to get the right adjustment for this light metal. I think I've finally figured it out for the smallest tip I have, but it will melt so fast, especially on the leading edge where it kind of curves. You can melt the hole really fast and you can't fill it, or it's very difficult to fill it. I think the key to keeping this horn from warping with this light metal is a lot of tacks going from side to side. It is a little bit tedious, because you have to stop and start, readjust. And I think I've gone through an entire flint on my striker, but it does seem to be working well.
Yeah, okay. Well, that's all of the leading edge, and we managed to not melt a giant hole in it, so I'm pretty happy with that. The welds are getting better. Start to figure out the gas for the such thin metal, especially on that leading edge. It's really thin. You got to really pay attention, or you'll melt the hole fast. I'm pretty happy with that. Still seems to not be warping, so it's good. So we finished up one of our elevator horns here, and actually I think it's turned out all right. I went ahead and bent this piece here, which this is all excess, to fit on one side of our elevator. And a few differences we're finding when it comes to these. First of all, the plans. The newer plans show this elevator horn straight on in terms of with the core line and with the wind. And the 29 design blueprints, it's slightly turned. Now that makes sense to me in terms of the cables are going to run at a slight angle to turn this, but it doesn't make sense to me with the way the wind flows, because this thing's shaped, you know, it's got a teardrop shape to it. So if you turn it to the side, you've effectively made a bit of a trim to it, to the rudder. Granted, you're going to have it on the other side, but it seems to me like that's a little bit of a bad idea, considering if you don't get them the same, maybe it's not enough to matter. I really don't know. And it seems like the newer ones have to come straight on, which doesn't make sense in terms of, you know, the cable is going to be coming slightly at an angle to it. So I'm not sure which one's the right way to go. I think I may just go straight on. I'm going to do it perpendicular to this leading edge. But if anybody knows out there, let me know, and I can always change it. So the other thing that we found, the plans don't show anything about this main, or this leading edge. It's channeled the whole length. The plans don't show anything different. And I've seen people do different things here. And then the elevator horn blueprints, this opening here, the blueprints for the elevator horn, these tabs here that you can see are bent down, it's a set size. And this is a set size. Neither one of them which match. This seems to be more of as if this channel had not been put in here. So what I think I'm going to do is, I've got some scrap 8-inch plywood, and I'm going to put it in place. I'm going to glue that in place, and then we'll bolt that down over where we put the scraps so that tightens it up a little bit. And gives a little bit more of a bigger stress point here on the elevator. So that's kind of that's what we're going to do. That's our plan on how we're going to solve that issue. It's really not that big of an issue. In terms of fitting, it fits really well. So I'm happy with it so far. I have to build another one for the other side. For this side, it seems to be working all right. So we are going to go ahead and put some shims in here so that we can get this thing clamped in place and drill some holes.
Hi, bye.
Drill some holes in it. That good?
Yeah.
I got sticky hands, I gotta watch me.
So I am making a little jig to drill some holes to mount our elevator horns. And it's pretty simple. I've seen some other people do it. So I pretty much just followed what they did using what I had around. And mounted a little piece of brass tube and a piece of scrap wood that I had. This is some oak, something a little bit harder I thought might help a little bit. And then I drilled a hole in it with the drill press and then sanded it square and smooth so that the edge of the pipe, that is the guide, is exactly flush with the edge here. So you can literally just take it and set it down and look down the front and drill a hole and it should be square. So we're going to see if we can't mount that in there with just a little bit of epoxy here so it doesn't move around on us. Always make more than I need, that's for sure. Now, you can clamp down this end, and once this dries, and you can use that as the guide. And I have a ultra long bit here, it just slides right down there, it'll be used as a guide. I also put a hole on this side too. I have some spare here, so if you needed to use one in a different area, a different angle, you could do that one too. So, but I'm not going to mount that one in here, otherwise it'll be in the way. I'm just going to mount this one, is the idea. So pretty simple, but hopefully effective. So let that dry. So I went ahead and got my elevator control horn roughly fitted here and clamped into place so that I can start trying to drill some holes here. So got my jig ready. We've done a couple test runs with it. It seems to work really well. We're going to clamp this in place and try drilling a hole without screwing up our entire horizontal stabilizer. So wish us luck. Alright, I'm going to try and drill this, I think. Well, it's on there. I'm not going to lie, I'm a little nervous. I hope I don't screw nothing up.
Yeah, because you're very nervous that you're going to break that thing and you're going to have to start all over.
Yeah.
Or maybe the elevator and the one on the elevator.
Yeah. Ready?
Get it all the way through?
I think so, dude. About to find out.
Yeah, and you have to set it all up and get it did.
Guess what?
Hmm.
Oh man.
What?
It worked.
Dun dun dun!
That worked pretty good. We gotta do the other side now. Wow.
And that is the drill of the elevator horizontal drill. That was funny.
With the holes drilled, we cut the excess metal off of the arm and finished up the elevator horn. So there it is, the finished product. We got the backside all cut, cleaned, and drilled as well. I put this hole in here, it's just screw holding that one in place. And I made a different one, made a smaller one that would fit in here a little bit better. And I used this angled head to fit inside there to drill. It worked really well. Because my normal drill wouldn't fit in there with all of the guide and everything, so but that one worked perfect. And we're all happy with it. So pull it off of there now and paint that up so it doesn't rust, and we're all done with that part. Another little piece complete. Join us next time for another episode of Project Pete.